All right, so ready to dive into The Crow, Requiem. We're talking gothic romance, brutal vengeance, and a soundtrack that'll blow your mind.
It's got all the elements of a classic revenge story, but with a fresh, stylish spin.
Exactly. It really all centers around Eric and Shelley Wright. This couple is crazy in love.
And not just your average run-of-the-mill kind of love. They have this deep, almost spiritual connection.
Yeah, they run this occult shop together, share these really intimate moments. They even have this ritualistic element to their love with this ancient Russian Wiccan love poem they share.
Almost like their own personal vows, setting the stage for a love that transcends death.
Which is good because death is a big part of The Crow.
Right. It wouldn't be The Crow without it.
But yeah, it's tragic. They're about to get married on Halloween. How perfect is that?
Talk about gothic romance.
Right. And then everything goes to hell.
It's brutal.
This gang, led by this creepy warlock, they attack Eric and Shelley's shop.
And it's not just an attack, it's like a full-on assault.
It's a bloodbath, and it ends with Shelley's murder.
And not just murder. It's ritualistic, echoing that love poem they shared. Just twisted and horrifying.
Awful.
You can see why this kind of story just grabs you, even if you've seen a million revenge movies.
Yeah, for sure.
It's about love, loss, that primal need for justice when someone's taken from you so brutally.
You want to see someone pay.
Exactly.
And Eric, he's left for dead.
But, and this is the whole thing with The Crow.
Death is just the beginning.
Exactly. Months later, he rises from the grave.
Back for vengeance.
But he's not the same Eric. This time he's fueled by rage, this all-consuming need to make things right.
To reclaim what was stolen from him.
And as he hunts down each gang member, you start to see, it's like he's trying to piece himself back together.
Like each kill brings him closer to who he was. But it's definitely a dark path.
Oh, absolutely.
And to capture all that visually, they got Daniel Scheinert and Daniel Kwan directing.
The Daniels.
Yeah, the masterminds behind Everything Everywhere All at Once. So we know it's going to be visually stunning.
Oh, they do not disappoint.
Right.
But it's not just about looking cool, right?
Right.
The visuals actually mirror Eric's headspace.
Yeah.
You've got these gritty, rain-soaked cityscapes. Think dark alleys, flickering neon, that whole vibe.
Very noir.
Totally.
Yeah.
But then, bam, you have these flashes of Shelley. She's bathed in this warm light, ethereal, almost like a dream.
Haunting.
Exactly. It's like he's trapped between this nightmare and a memory.
And speaking of contrasting elements, the action is choreographed by the team behind the raid.
Oh, wow. So you know it's going to be intense.
Yeah, those fight scenes are going to be brutal.
But here's the thing. They're also strangely beautiful.
How so?
It's like watching this ballet of violence. Which makes sense when you think about it. All of Eric's grief, it's finding a physical outlet.
Mm-hmm.
But that beauty, it kind of hints at the tragedy of it all.
It's like his love for Shelley is woven into the very fabric of his rage.
Exactly. And then there's the soundtrack, which takes things to a whole other level emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
It's this wild mix, everything from 9 Inch Nails to FKA Twigs.
I was wondering how they were going to capture the different sides of the film musically. You know, you've got this raw anger, but also this deep love.
They totally nail it. Like when Eric's consumed by rage, you hear Code Orange.
Oh.
Yeah. Their music is perfect for that raw, visceral anger. But then when we see those flashbacks of Shelley,
things shift.
Totally. Suddenly it's FKA Twigs. And her sound is so haunting, so ethereal, it captures the essence of her spirit.
And reminds us of what Eric has lost.
Exactly.
But it's not just them, right? I heard Clams Casino, JPEG Mafia, even Death Grips are on the soundtrack.
Yep. They all bring something unique. It creates this sonic landscape that's as complex and multifaceted as Eric's emotional state.
Wow.
It's like the music is a character in itself.
It really adds another layer to the whole experience. But even with all that, the directing, the choreography, the music, it all comes back to Eric and what he's going through, you know?
Absolutely. At its core, The Crow. Requiem is about Eric's journey, his descent into this really dark place as he seeks vengeance.
And it makes you wonder, can he actually find any peace in all that?
That's the big question, right? It's not a simple revenge flick. It's a deep dive into grief and rage. It makes you think, can you really heal by embracing that darkness?
Right. Will he break the cycle or just become another tragedy?
And it's something we grapple with in real life, too, that desire for justice, for someone to pay for what they've done.
And that need for vengeance can be so powerful, so consuming.
Exactly. It can feel all-consuming, like the only way to move on is to make the other person hurt as much as you do.
But this film seems to be saying, maybe there's another way.
Maybe. It definitely doesn't offer any easy answers. But it makes you think about the cost of vengeance.
The emotional toll it takes.
Exactly. Eric's story is like a warning. It reminds us that sometimes, even with good intentions, the past we choose to heal can lead us to even darker places.
So we're left with this sense of anticipation, but also this unease. You want to see Eric get his revenge, but you also hope he finds some kind of peace.
And that's what makes The Crow Requiem so compelling. It's dark, it's stylish, but it also has this emotional depth that'll stick with you.
It's definitely a film that also sparks some conversation. Make sure you check out The Crow Requiem. Let us know what you think. We'll be back next time with another deep dive. Until then, happy viewing.
Nandemoii-SAMA